As the Final Four in Major League Baseball slug it out for a spot in the World Series, the legends of the PGA Tour champions are gearing up for a playoff run of their own. We'll be joined by Kenny Perry to see if anyone can stop Bernhard Langer from taking home a fourth straight Charles Schwab Cup trophy. Plus, do you have a need for speed?
Hold on for dear life!
9-time major champion Gary Player has a tip to share to help you hit your irons better. It is sure to be one of the best lessons you have ever seen. And last weekend, Pat Perez claimed his third career PGA Tour victory. He will join us live from South Korea to talk about the recent resurgence in his game.
I'm not going to change anything. I'm still not going to work out. I'm still going to have a bad diet, and I'm going to enjoy myself.
All that and more today on Morning Drive, Wednesday, October 18th, 2017. And welcome inside Studio AP. I'm Damon Hack alongside a PGA Tour and Robert Dammer and the rest of our nutty little family in just a little bit. Good morning, pal. How are you?
I'm great. You know, I noticed the humidity's dropping finally here in Orlando. When are you going to take me and give me some lessons on the course?
Couple weeks.
You're feeling it then?
You're done playing with Reimer, huh?
Oh, yeah. That was an adventure. I played golf with Charlie Reimer, Bill Kratzert. We're not who we used to be, the three of us. I can tell you. Not on the golf course anyway.
Probably a lot of mulligans for you guys. And speaking of which, yesterday, National Mulligan Day was yesterday. Did you know this?
Yeah, it was. Really?
Yes.
I didn't take my mulligan yesterday.
Let's take a look at social media because a lot of folks, recognize it out of Bandon Dunes. Happy Mulligan Day. Remember, you only get one. Pacific Dunes, number 17.
That's gorgeous.
Beautiful shot. How about this? Today's the best day for golfers. Mulligan Day is channeling Woody Austin.
Why does he need a mulligan? That's the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, nice pants, buddy.
Yeah.
How about Greg Johnson? He would have taken the trip to Ireland for honeymoon. We didn't end up going, and 17 years later, we still haven't gone.
I think his wife got hold of his Twitter and wrote that out just to shame him a little bit.
Well, yesterday we were talking about the Ryder Cup and 1 year out, and we had Thomas Bjorn and Jim Fripp. We didn't recognize National Mulligan Day. So should we take a mulligan ourselves?
This is our mulligan.
This is it. There it is. All right. All is well now.
Okay.
Taking our mulligan.
We took a mulligan.
No
Much
mulligans.
better than the first.
Yes, no mulligans available in Korea this week, though. That's what's happening now. The CJ Cup at 9 Bridges, the first official PGA Tour event ever played in Korea. 78 players are in this field, Jason. Day will be there. Justin Thomas will be there. Coverage on Golf Channel begins at 10 p.m. Eastern Time for a preview. We send it out to Rich Lerner and Frank Navila.
Talking to people here the last 2 days, the sense that you get, Frank, is one of overwhelming pride hosting the first ever PGA Tour event. And as you know, this is a country that really loves the game.
It certainly does. The population of South Korea is in excess of 51 million, but there's nearly 4 million of those that actually play golf. And golf in South Korea is on so many different platforms. For example, driving range golf. Screen golf is huge here. It's a great way to get into the game. And the golf courses themselves, there's just under 500 golf courses in South Korea. But, we're going to see a real gem this week. But golf, while it might be struggling in other parts of the world, is on an upward tick through every single demographic in South Korea.
17 Koreans in this field of 78. No one more beloved than the great KJ Choi. Frank, what has he meant to Korean golf?
He literally was a groundbreaker, Rich. You've got to go back 20 years ago and consider what it's like to leave this country when Korean is your native language. Go to America, which is the melding pot of the professional game, and everything is brand new. The style of game that he was trying to play, to become a players champion and the most successful, the most successful Asian player to play on the PGA Tour, I think is quite remarkable. But more importantly is what he's done when he came home. He's really been part of this new infrastructure of golf and really lent a hand to the development of the Siwoo Kims, the Sangmoon Baes, even players like Danny Lee, who were born in Korea and brought up in New Zealand. He's basically affected every single player that's gone to the PGA Tour with Korean roots.
Siwoo Kim and Sangmoon Bae both said that KJ Choi has been a source of tremendous inspiration for every young Korean golfer. How about this course, Frank?
It'll be interesting, Rich. When you look at it on the scorecard, it's 7,200 yards, which doesn't appear very long, but there's virtually no roll off the tee, so you can sort of add another 25 yards. It'll play much longer than the scorecard. And also the unbalance of the two nines. The front nine, really the property, because it's volcanic land, the front nine has a lot of short par fours, and all the length comes on the golf course. And this very hole that we're on, which is the 18th hole, is an interesting par 5. It's almost L-shaped. So there's a lot of different strategies off the tee, but as you can see behind, there's water in play. So we're going to see 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, even perhaps 7s come and play, which I think makes the weekend and the finish on Sunday that much more enticing.
It's a beautiful spot in the shadow of Mount Hala. There's a tremendous field this week led by the FedEx Cup champion Justin Thomas, world number 9 Jason Day, Daniel Berger, Patrick Reed, and now number 20 in the world off the win at the CIMB, Pat Perez. An historic week for the PGA Tour, first ever PGA Tour event in South Korea.
Well, gentlemen, among the 78 players in the field, 2011 PGA champ Keegan Bradley, who's found some form of late, that runner-up finish at the CIMB Classic in Malaysia last week. For more on Keegan's turnaround with the putter, we send it to Golf Channel Academy lead coach Travis Fulton.
Perhaps no one was affected more than Keegan Bradley by the ban of the anchor putter. You think about it, this is all that he knew when it came to putting in junior golf, into college, and then all the way into the professional ranks. And this is him back in 2011 here. You can see that long anchored putter right in towards the belly button there. And of course with Keegan, that lie angle was pretty flat. And one of the things about the anchored putter into the belly there was really easy for the forearms to come in and line up. You could really kind of come in from underneath here and not get on top like that. So here he is, 2011 here. We'll roll this tape in. You know, this is a putt that right to left, and he made it. And we saw this a lot in 2011 and 12, 3 wins, including the PGA Championship. And we go to face on here. I want to show you the other view from the anchor putter, because when you anchor it in towards the belly there, forearms match up. You can see a lot of bend in the elbow. We're going to play this through here. The big thing is the release of the putter head. Look at the left elbow, left wrist to the club shaft. You can see a soft left wrist bent, left elbow bent, and of course because that's anchored. So that's really going to determine the rise angle of the putter head, the path-face relationship. That's what he perfected, was that through the impact position. Now, we're going to fast forward here. A lot of trial and error. This is him early in 2017. Very different setup. You can see him crunch down a little bit more. The forearms a little bit higher, not on the same plane as the putter shaft. And watch this finish now. We're going to swing this through, and you're going to see the putter shaft stays more in line with the left arm. And that's very different than when it was anchored into the belly. We're going to split the screen here and show you a neat comparison. And here's why the struggle was so real. Look at the difference in the release, the difference in the rise angle of the putter head, the path-face relation dynamic. The whole thing is just different. Now, some changes have been made. We're going to go fast forward to the CIMB Classic where he finished second. I love this setup here. Conventional putter, the putter head, the putter shaft pointing more back towards the belly button, elbow soft back underneath. Looks like the forearms are matched up. Now watch this release. It's going to look more like when he was belly putting. The butt of the club pointing back towards the belly button, left elbow, left wrist soft. I like that for Keegan Bradley. That kind of release, I think that best mirrors the success that he had with the belly putter. If he can continue the success that he's having with the flat stick, Keegan Bradley is going to continue to get in contention on the PGA Tour. Damon, back to you.
All right, Travis, someone hasn't just survived the putting ban, he's actually thrived. Bernhard Langer, he's won the last 3 Charles Schwab Cups. That's what's happening now. The playoffs begin this week, the Dominion Energy Charity Classic in Richmond, Virginia. We've watched Langer wearing out fairways and greens, knocking in putts, outlasting players nearly a decade his junior. 72 players eligible this week, 54 advance to next week's Power Shares QQQ in California, 36 to the Charles Schwab Cup Championship in Arizona. And as usual, everyone chasing Bernhard Langer. And take a look at number 3, Kenny Perry, the 2017 U.S. Senior Open champ, will join us next hour. He's dealing with a shoulder injury. We'll ask him how he is coping. Also happening now, Sung-Hoon Park on historic pace this season on the LPGA Tour, the Swinging Skirts LPGA Taiwan Championship Park, with the potential to win Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, the Vare Trophy for scoring, the money list, and the race to the CME Globe. It has never been done before. She is having an unprecedented, remarkable season. Look at this field. Lydia Ko, major champion. Christy Kerr, Daniel King, Arya Chutanigan. You see the defender Hana Jang in the field as well. For more, we say good morning once again to Robert Dameron and our travel guru, Matt Janella.
Thank you very much, Damon. You know what time it is? It's not just 10 after 7 in the morning. It's more important than that. It's time for Matt's mailbag. Yeah. Matt literally goes through millions of emails and tweets to pick out the best ones. And we got a pretty good one here to start off this morning, don't we?
I don't know. You tell me.
All right. Well, it's from Charlie Brown. Charles Brown wrote you one. He says, Matt, what's the best public courses in California north of the Bay Area? Shouldn't Bay be capitalized?
Yes, Bay Area actually could be both capitalized. Nice work, Robert. Hey, not just a pretty face. You can't talk about Northern California right now without just a little mention of what they're dealing with in terms of fires. And I've checked in with a lot of my family members and friends over the course of the last week plus. And Oakmont Golf Course is the course I grew up working an 18-hole course with another 18-hole executive course there. My aunt and uncle have a house there. They're moving back into their houses. Both of those courses are okay. We know that Sonoma Golf Club is dealing with issues with the fire. Mayakama, Windsor, a lot of these golf courses are dealing with something much bigger than just the actual maintenance of the golf. On all of that note, I will tell you that in terms of answering the question, there's a real hidden gem in Northern California, in Montreal, California, an Alistair McKenzie design Northwood Golf Club. It's 9 holes built on about 70 acres. We talk about value all the time. Everybody wants to know either give me that bucket list high-end dream trip or help me save a few dollars. This is such a cool story in Montreal. 70 acres, par 36, tips out at 2,893 yards. You can play it during the week, walk 9 holes for $27, weekend for $30. If you play 18, you're going to pay $45 on the weekends to walk. Jack Neville, one of the original co-architects of Pebble Beach with Douglas Grant, convinced Alistair McKenzie as he was designing Cypress before he designed Augusta National to make his way to Montreal near the Bohemian Club there, where a lot of people used to spend a lot of time. McKenzie built this real gem, and if you go there and you find it, you're not going to be disappointed. Well,
have you ever been disappointed in Alistair McKenzie course? I mean, no. At $45, one hole is worth $45.
Correct. Public access, Alistair McKenzie, pure genius. In and amongst the redwoods, so keep it straight.
Man. Well, that's just a little tease. We got plenty more mailbag questions coming your way. First, we got to talk to Damon.
Absolutely, Dameron. We call this portion of the program the Tee Sheet. Best lessons ever. Gary Play's going to drill down on some fundamentals to help you with your game. He's high energy. You may already know that. Kenny Perry, the last man to win the Charles Schwab Cup before Bernhard Langer's incredible run. Kenny will join us next hour, talk about the plan to take down Bernhard Langer. And finally, Pat Perez. A year and a half ago, he sat in this studio and said he had huge goals. He was a believer he'd come back and start winning tournaments. How has he done it? And did he really believe it? He will join us coming up. Pat Perez, now a 3-time winner on the PGA Tour. A big 2-hour show today. We're covering a lot of ground. Matt Janella's mailbag, Dameron making jokes, Travis Fulton getting you better, and Pat Perez. What will he say today, man? He can say anything.
He can say anything.
He can say anything.
I'm looking forward to that one.
I hope the censors are ready. Yeah.